Guys, am I the only one that's realizing this right now? Or is it that we have, as a generation and as a society, idolized toxic relationships and being toxic to a certain person in order to get their attention? You know how before it was like, in order to get a person's attention, or in order to show a person that you have feelings for them or care about them, you had to be like straight up, be like honest and authentic. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have to like play games of like texting this person back late, or being mysterious and disappearing and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? We are like on our phones a lot more than we didn't have phones back in the day. So we are on our phones a lot in this generation, and it seems like what is more idolized in this generation is about being less and less available, even though you are more and more available through your electronic devices or technology. What's deemed more desirable is to have this sort of a toxic personality. And people are saying, oh, you know, so there's some people, like some weird people on the internet that are saying, oh, it's so like attractive when someone has this personality and they're so toxic. And to me, I always saw that as something which is like really weird. But then I started doing my research and what that actually means. As a collective in this generation, the reason why most people are idolizing all these toxic relationships is because of one thing. And that one thing is trauma. And in specific, it's attachment trauma. So when you're young, you had a relationship with your parents, and depending on that relationship, depending on what you saw with your parents, you deem that to be love. Now let's say there's two parents and there's this young girl that sees her parents fighting all the time. She's really young and she's just developing her idea of what the world is and how society works and shit like that. She's just computing everything, every information, every new information that she gets. Imagine her seeing her parents fight. She doesn't know what love is. So she's seeing that and she thinks that's how two people are together, they fight, and that's how they show love. So that must be love. And I wanted to imagine a guy on this side, and his parents are like loving towards each other. You know, there's a young boy and he's like seeing his parents. They feel quite happy, you know, they talk to each other in this respective sense, and he basically sees the good things. And this other girl, she sees all the bad things. What's gonna happen is these kids will grow up to be adults, and they will have different, you know, idea of what love is, or what family is supposed to be like. And so this girl will think that, you know, being harsh is love, and this guy's gonna think being harsh is, bro, how is being harsh being in love? And so it's basically about how most people have grown up in these households where abusing, whether that be verbal abusing or actually physical abusing, has been so common that that has shaped their body and mind to believe that that is what love looks like. And that is why we see in today's society that all these toxic relationships are held up to such a high standard, where if you act nice, or if you do a nice gesture, or if you know, say something to give someone a compliment, you are looked down upon because you're seen as not desirable because you're acting too nice, or like whatever label that people put on you. But I can't be the only one that sees that, how most people have basically flipped on that idea of what an actual relationship should look like. Now, by no means I'm no expert. I'm just a guy in his room with a phone, and I'm just you know what I mean, I'm just giving my opinion on stuff that I've witnessed or stuff that I've seen like online and stuff. Now, since you've watched this far of the video, I know that you are not the type of person to think that this toxicity is like to do with love and shit. Do you know what I mean? And so what I want you to do from this step forward is, when you meet a person, or when you're already with a person or whatever, is to just try to be yourself more. Try to not hide who you are, because if you hide yourself, if you hide who you are internally, what that's gonna do is that's just gonna make you more the shell of a person you are. If you keep hiding yourself, you're basically placing this shell on you, and you're not really able to be yourself fully. And when you are afraid of what people will think of you when you are being yourself, maybe those people aren't not really meant to be in your life. The reason why we chase certain people is because we've seen that those people can provide something which they've provided for us in the past, but we can't really get that today or get that right now. And we always have this pull towards that person because that's the only person that gave me this feeling, and how am I gonna survive without that feeling? The one thing which I'm gonna like tell you is just to be yourself and ignore all these people that have all these like toxicity standards and whatever that they had. Like, I don't know. And it's also about realizing that you are not perfect. You are not a perfect person. By no means you can be perfect all the time, every day, every second. So it's about realizing you can slip up as well, and it's about looking inwards about what you can actually provide for yourself and what you can actually provide to other people around you. So with that being said, you know, this generation is messed up, but I hope this video actually helped you gain some sort of clarity. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.